Go back to Mornings on 2. It is now 16 minutes until 9 o'clock, and we're going to go to New York City right now and introduce you to one of the most popular television, radio, and TV personalities in the land, Howard Stern. Nice to see you, Howard. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Steve, is that you?
That's me.
For God's sakes, I can't even see what you look like. What do you look like?
I'm about 6 foot.
You're a handsome man?
I used to be. I'm kind of old now, Howard.
Oh, how old are you, Steve?
41, Howard.
Oh, that's not. I'm 39.
Well, yeah, but see, I'm older than you. I mean, what do you see what's going to happen to you in another couple of years, you know?
And you got all your own hair?
Yeah, I have all of my own hair.
You're not wearing a piece?
I'm not wearing a piece.
All right, it looks a little bit like a piece. That's all.
It does look, but if I do this, it really looks a lot more like a piece.
So what kind of show is this? What is this, like a Today Show or something?
You know, it's similar to Good Day New York.
Good Day, it's similar to Good Day New York.
Which is on opposite you, so you probably don't get to see it much, do you?
So you mean it's a very cheap production, is what you're saying?
No. We're much more expensive. We actually have a studio and stuff like that as opposed to what they do in New York City. Hey, let's talk about you and the book, okay?
Talk about my book. Steve, I am so excited that you brought up my book. I got to tell you something, Steve. You know what it's like? I just heard a guy on before this. He was selling a book. Now I'm selling a book. This is like QVC this morning.
It is, absolutely.
The only way you get anybody is if they're selling something.
You're right.
Listen, I want to say to the people of San Francisco, if you want to read a book, you know, this is a New York Times bestseller.
It is, absolutely. It's not
Steve,
only...
am I keeping you awake?
Yes, just a little, but I appreciate it because there's nothing else here to keep me awake.
Right.
I got to add, the first day the book comes out, and you do a signing at a bookstore in New York City, I mean, we have video of that we're going to roll in while you answer this question. I mean, that was, Howard, you could never have expected that in your wildest dreams.
Let me tell you, Steve, watching this tape, it really feeds my ego. This is all I wanted my whole life. People storming me, people looking at me, people carrying on about me, Howard. It's wonderful. Steve, I'll tell you the truth. When I wrote this book, I worked very hard on it.
Right.
And I was very excited by that kind of reaction to the book. People are really taking a liking to it, and I'll tell you why. They're getting a laugh a page. And they're enjoying themselves with this thing. They're having a good time with it. There's lots of wild pictures in there. I worked very hard on it, and I see that all of my hard work has come to fruition. Have you read the book, Steve?
Yes, I did read the book, and I must say that there were parts of it that I found hysterical, and there are other parts of it that, you know, I was a little uncomfortable with, but that's part of your humor, is to make people uncomfortable and to make people think about those things that make us uncomfortable.
Steve, you got to make people uncomfortable. That's the most important part of all of this. And then also, you know, listen, I'm always selling stuff. I've got a big pay-per-view event coming up New Year's Eve. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
The Miss Howard Stern contest is coming up. It's all going to be very big. It's all going to be exciting. And, Steve, you have to sit there and be a little bit jealous, don't you?
I am very jealous.
Here you are, a broken-down old broadcaster, forced out of New York and all the way over to San Francisco. It's almost over for you, and here I am with a hit book and all that.
I know.
Were you a little surprised by the success of this book, Steve?
I'm so upset.
I know.
No, you know what? I got to tell you something, because I've been following your career for a long, long time. We had a mutual friend, Denise Oliver, who I believe you worked with and for in Washington, D.C.
That's correct.
She was very instrumental in my career as well. So I remember you at WNBC and K-Rock and all those other stations, and it didn't surprise me because I saw how you grew,
Steve,
how your fame grew from living in New York City, and I know why it did. And you know, you do work hard. You are outrageous. You are who you are. There's a dial on the radio if they don't like you.
Steve, thank you for that, but do you mind if I get a word in edgewise?
No.
Steve, let me tell you something. This book, I think, is a lot of fun. And as you say, it is shocking to some people. Some people are shocked by reality, much like yourself, Steve. And there's a lot of reality here, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And you must enjoy the pose on the front cover here. What do you think of me? Evaluate me. I know you're a man.
It doesn't do much for me, to be quite honest with you.
Are you a heterosexual, Steve?
Absolutely. Yes, I am. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
I always thought you were gay. I had no idea.
No, I'm straight. But if I was gay, that would be fine, but I happen to be heterosexual.
You better say that if you're broadcasting into San Francisco.
Yes.
When you were in New York, you never used to say it was fine to be gay.
Now, no one ever asked me that in New York.
But here we are. I'm on the cover of the book. I got into shape for the book. I'm very proud of its success, and I think people will have a good laugh with this thing. And I think the reason it is selling well is because a lot of people have the image of me that all I do is shock people for a living, as if I go on the air and use the curse words, the 7 dirty words. The show has a lot more to it. There's about 12 or 13 dirty words I use on the air.
Actually,
yes. No, I think the book is worthwhile, and I think people have a good time. It makes an excellent Christmas item.
It does. Let's go a little bit further here. Cover of Time magazine a few weeks ago, and the comparison with you and Rush Limbaugh. How did you feel about that?
I keep getting compared to that big, fat, pumpkin-headed Rush Limbaugh, a no-talent swine who stole a lot of material from me, who up until 4 years ago had no radio career. He was thrown out of radio. He really had nothing going on in radio. He tuned into my show one day and he said, aha, that's how you do it. So Fat Pumpkinhead has tried to rain on my parade. But you know something, Steve, that is your name, right?
Yes. Yes,
Steve,
it is.
let me say something.
Well,
I must tell you, you're not fat, are you, Steve?
well, no, I don't think
Good.
I'm fat.
All right,
I'm a
then we
big
can-
man. I'm a big man. but
Rush
I'm not
Limbaugh is on the radio at a certain time of day that, quite frankly, is not a competitive time
Sure,
of day.
it's not.
Morning
Not for
radio
you at
is
all.
more.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Morning radio is competitive. If I ever went on against Rush Limbaugh, I would kick his butt. It would
Now,
be over.
we are a Fox station here in San Francisco, and the hot rumor around the broadcast world is that you will be doing a late-night show on Fox.
Well, I've actually had a lot of opportunities. When the book went #1, the radio show has been successful. My TV show on the E! Network was very successful. And a lot of people have approached me about doing film work and television work. I've had a couple of meetings now looking into different, television moves, syndication and network
And
television.
you do have your interview show on E!
Yeah, I will beat, if I do go into the late night slot, I will beat Jay Leno and David Letterman.
Okay, but you're not going to tell us if you're going to do it or not. You're just considering it now.
I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to specifically comment on
Okay,
that.
that's good
because,
enough.
because you're being a big pain in the neck, Steve.
Well, that's what I do. Nice
Steve,
to see you. Thanks a
good
lot for
luck to
joining
you.
us. Good luck
Steve,
to
I'm
you.
very proud of you. You conduct a great interview.
Thank you, and thank you very much for your participation in this interview as well. The name of the book,
I've never had an interview like this before.
Howard Stern, Private. What, do you feel like you should have a cigarette now?
Yeah,
Howard
it's unbelievable.
Stern, Private
Steve, those were
Parts.
some questions. You really prepared for this.
Thanks a lot, Howard.
The
See you
worst
soon.
interview I ever had.
Bye, Howard.
All right, Steve.
So
Goodbye.
long. See
So long.
you. We'll be back with more Mornings on 2. Oh, look at that. Bars and everything. We'll be back with more Mornings on 2 after these messages. Stay right where you are.
To be wild.